welcome to day 2 of my year 2017, and I'm here to show you what we're going to be doing. As you saw in the beginning picture, how does your garden grow? And this is going to be a project that is going to symbolize to me what I want, how I want my garden to grow. So you're going to need a wood block, a nail. Remember those leftover scraps I was talking about? You're going to need those leftover scraps because you're going to punch out some scallop-like circles or small circles as well. So remember how I said on day 1 to keep those scraps? That's what you're going to be doing, is keeping those scraps. And see, I'm showing you the scallops. And some little circles I punched out, which I ended up not using in my project, but you will see what else I used, all right? Sometimes it's hard to do voiceovers because I forget what I was saying on camera. I was going to just do live from my camera, you know, when I was recording, but it was such a hot day here that I had to have all my fans going, and it really sounded bad in the room with me talking over the fans, so I ended up doing this voiceover. So if you don't have a children's block, you could go to one of your local home improvement stores and have them, you know, look for some wood. Sometimes they do have leftover pieces of wood. Sometimes they give them for free. Sometimes you have to pay a few dollars or so for it, but have them cut it for you into some wood blocks. And then you could probably like decoupage or stamp letters onto the fronts of your blocks. If you don't have them, you could paint them, you could alter them. I just did mine as really simple project and very simple, easy way to do it. So if you do have your children's wood blocks laying around still, you might want to steal a few. Like I did. I actually saved my children's blocks, and yeah, so I found them while I was going through boxes and things while we're preparing for a big move. And yeah, so I saved them and thought, what a good idea. So what inspired me to put this project together was last week I was struggling, first of all, of what to come up to teach you guys for this week. And I had gone to Hobby Lobby to pick up a few things, and I saw something that had a block, but it wasn't a letter block or anything. It was just kind of like a block of wood that had been painted. And I thought, I wonder if I could do something with the blocks that I have. And so I did some brainstorming, and that's what I came up with. You'll see what I came up with. Sometimes it helps to just kind of peruse the aisles of Hobby Lobby or Michael's, because they not only just sell, you know, art supplies, but they do sell other home decor items. So another thing you're going to use for this project is some thread or some kind of burlap thread or whatever you want to call it. And then you want to get yourself a yo-yo or sew yourself some yo-yos if you know how to do them. I don't. Jerry Bellini happened to send me these in some Happy Mail. And then you're going to need the scallop circle. And you're going to need, of course, your wood block and a nail. And you're going to need some charms. Now, they don't have to have words on them like I have them. This is from Tim Holtz's ideology sets that he sells. And I just happened to get them on clearance when I was at Joann's a few months ago. So yeah, so check out Joann's because sometimes they have things on clearance, and also they provide a 40% off coupon as well as Michael's and Hobby Lobby. So check them out. That's a great way of getting supplies that you really want but don't want to pay full price. Some of them will, they'll allow you to use the coupons on some things, not everything, but yeah, it depends. So now you're going to need also a skewer, one of the skewers that you use to make shish kebabs on the barbecue. Get one of those and you're going to cut it down. And I didn't measure them out to be the same exact size because in a garden, flowers grow at different rates, and so they're going to be different lengths. And my idea for this was, how does your garden grow? Do you have weeds in your garden? So, do you have things in your life that you wish you could change or get rid of? So, think about weeding your garden. And what would your garden look like once you're done with all the weeding? All right. So, to start, that was kind of my idea along the line of growth, growth kind of thing. And so I'm going to show you how I'm going to put this together. And oh, you're going to need a hammer, and you're going to also need some pliers. So grab those in your for your stash or whatever, because you're going to need those things, and your hole punches. Something to punch holes with to make your scallops or make bigger circles. And if you don't have a die cutting machine or circle punches or something like that, you could draw circles and then cut them out from the scraps left over from our first project, from our first day. All right, so I'm going to get started, and what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take the nail, and you're going to want it to kind of put it in the center of the block, and because I want that skewer to go in there, so I'm starting a hole. And I was having a little bit of problems when I was doing this on camera. First of all, I've been known to smash my fingers with nails, so I didn't want that to happen on camera. That wouldn't have looked so good. But anyhow, you got to hammer it in real good, get it in there. I was struggling with it, and of course it shook my table area and my camera, so it looks like there's an earthquake going on in my art room. Actually, there was an earthquake. I'm kidding. My art room's a disaster right now, so it does look like there was an earthquake going on. So anyways, so I'm just trying to pound this nail into the block. So you want to start your hole, and you can see here that I am struggling. I could have chosen to edit this out, but I thought, okay, I'll just keep it in to show you that I too struggle with some projects. The idea is there, but it doesn't always happen the way I wanted it to. And of course, my other blocks that I did off camera, I didn't have any issue getting the nail into them. So kind of weird, but anyhow. So it's in there good and still not deep enough, so I had to go back in again, yet again, to get it to make that hole a little bit deeper for the skewer. So, yeah. All right, so I finally got it in nice and deep, and so this is where the pliers come in. That helps to get the nail out. Then I'm going to take some glue, and I'm using Aleene's tacky glue, but the fast drying kind, and it's not the greatest in the world. It's thinner than the clear kind that I like to use, but that's what I have, so I'm going to work with it. And I'm putting the skewer in with the glue and hoping that it stays, because it still wasn't deep enough, the hole. So I'm back to pounding. See, I struggled with this one. I did. I struggled. I did. Alright, so I managed to get the hole deep enough, and so now I'm going back to the glue and filling the hole with the glue and putting the skewer on. And this time it's somewhat stayed. And I was talking about the length. I didn't cut them the same length because I wanted them different sizes, because like I said, in the garden your flowers do not grow the same length. All right, so I got it to work and it's on. I think it's a little crooked, but that's okay. It's what gives it its uniqueness. And I was talking about like how I left the block plain, but you could take some distress ink and go around the edges if you wanted to age it up a little. You could paint over it if you wanted to, your blocks. You know, so if you don't have the letter blocks like I do, you could paint pieces of wood, like I said, have them cut into wood blocks. So now I'm going to take the yo-yo that I have and the scallop, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with them next. And now you're going to need some brads. So pick out some brads that are cute for the center of your flower. These are going to become flowers. So I'm showing you how I am going to create a hole in the middle to put the brad through. This is called a non-sew project. I do not sew, like many of you know. So whatever I do, I try to avoid sewing as much as I can, just like I try to avoid doing math as much as I can. So this pad that I'm working on is by Sizzix. It is a stamp pad. The black part is a stamp pad, and the foam part at the top that you see me poking a hole through my yo-yo and the scallop circle is where you could punch holes at. Now, if you don't have anything like that, I would get yourself a piece of thick styrofoam so that you don't create marks on your work area. So that's what I do. And so I've created the hole, and I'm going to feed the brad through the hole, and I'm making sure it's going on to the other side, and I'm kind of showing you, see how it came through, sort of. Sorry, my camera angle didn't pick up. I wasn't looking to see that I wasn't in frame. I'm sorry about that. So I've got it fit through and spread out the backing, and then I'm going to show you what the next step is. So I should have done this before I put this flower together, but I'm going back in with a Faber-Castell Pitt pen in a metallic kind of color, and I'm just kind of going around and outlining the scallops so that it pops a little bit more. It looks a little better on the flower. Alright, so in this section I'm going to show you how to glue on the flower to the skewer. So I just showed you right there how where the back of the brad is, the metal parts. So that's where I'm placing the glue, is on those metal prongs or whatever you want to call them on the back of the brad. And I'm adding just enough glue to it, and then I'm going to place the skewer over the top of that, right in there. And to make sure that I have enough glue on there, I'm going to put another layer of glue over the top, kind of to create like a seal almost. Alright, so off camera I went ahead and added some stickles to the front of the scallop and right around them to add a little bit of bling. And the next step is to add the charm. So that's where that piece of thread or yarn or ribbon or whatever you might have that you want to tie your charm with. So I'm just feeding this string through, and then I'm going to tie it on, and I'm just kind of double knotting it onto it. And I think it looks really cute when it's all said and done. The project is complete. How does your garden grow? I hope that you will participate in this and share in the My Year Facebook group. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and I shall see you on day 3 coming up soon. Bye, Toodles. Have a wonderful day.